Hi there, I'm Annette Satterfield and this is my studio, and I'm going to do a real quick demo of just the way I paint and some of the things I do in my mixed media paintings. And I have right here one that I've already started. It's on canvas. It's been taped to a foam board. I like to work on them this way. It's a firm surface. I've gessoed it and I've put on my first layer of these blues and greens in a cool colorway. And the next step is I'm going to just put another layer of paint on it, but I'm going to use the warm colors this time because I really like the tension between the two because it never covers completely and there's a lot of, this will be showing through. But before I do that, I am going to just mark all over it with this big fat crayon. It's a Stabilo Woody, one of my favorites for bold marks. And just that's it. Now, I love these crayons. I have a whole bin of them. They are water soluble. And what's going to happen is when I start painting over this with the next layer of paint, it's going to start to bleed a little, which I absolutely love that bleeding. Now, I know I have talked about this before, but I don't use brushes. Very seldom I might use a brush. Mostly I use plastic key cards and palette knives. I have my palette here. And this is my Brights palette, but I'm going to be working on this in the warm colors, which are the pinks, the orange, the red, and I might shade over into the yellow. I might not because I don't have a lot left here. So let's see what happens here. Now you may be noticing as I'm going, I'm just picking up different colors on my card. I'm letting them mix on the card and on the work because the more I paint, the more mixed they become, which is part of the reason it takes me a couple of layers or several layers to get this effect that I'm looking for. You can see here where my marks underneath are starting to blend and smudge a little. And you see how this is starting to also blend the colors on the card. And you notice how it's getting less pure, more subtle, more of a grayed down color. And that's another juxtaposition of color here that I really like. Because then I have these super bright colors that go right next to it. Now, oops. And now you can see that I actually have not covered up the entire first layer. So those blues and greens kind of vibrate through the orangey kind of pinky next layer, which isn't quite as bright. It's toned down a good bit, and I'm really pleased with how this is going. So I'm going to let that dry and we'll come back to it later and see what else I can do to it. Thanks for stopping by. See you again later.